soul of entertainment.
I just want your papers, please.
Sir.
Salary don't enter. Yes, so and month never even reach chef. Na salary plenty, oh. No wonder I no gree collect roja from my hand. Shut up, yeah. I'm here to bail my younger brother.
Happen.
With good laws,
proper funding,
Training.
and cooperation.
If it happen.
Fundamental human rights are rights that are fundamental to existence. They are not mere rights. They are fundamental, belonging to the citizen of any country, small or big, newborn or old. It is above the ordinary laws of the land, which in fact is antecedent to the political society itself. As Nigerians, our fundamental human rights are provided for under Chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution. As Nigerians, our fundamental human rights are provided for to care for and protect us as citizens. These rights include right to life, Section 33 of the 1999 Constitution. Every person has a right to life, and no one shall be deprived intentionally of his life, save in execution of a criminal offense of which he has been found guilty in Nigeria. Number 2, rights to dignity of human person, Section 34. 3, right to personal liberty, Section 35. Right to fair hearing, Section 36. Right to private and family life, Section 37. Right to freedom of thought, conscience and religion, Section 38. Right to freedom of expression and press, Section 39. Right to peaceful assembly and association, Section 40. Right to freedom of movement, Section 41. Rights to freedom from discrimination, Section 43. Rights to acquire and own immovable property anywhere in Nigeria, Section 43. Rights against compulsory acquisition of property, Section 44 of the Nigerian Constitution as amended 1999. Nigerians, there are your rights as citizens. Today can be your day or your night. The truth sets free and also empowers. We are all born equal because every one of us have rights. We are great people, strong people. Or have you forgotten the place where two rivers meet, the people shall be great. God bless Nigeria.
MIT
Good morning. It's a brand new week, and the program is Summit. Thanks again for joining us today. I am Jumoke Michaels, and Banji is also right here. Banji, good morning.
Good morning, Jumoke. How was your weekend?
Fine, thank God.
How did you cope with the heavy torrential downpour yesterday?
Well, let's just say it's a blessing.
It's a
and
blessing.
I live in an environment where we don't experience floods, so.
But we're told by the geographers that the rising sea level
in Lagos
is a threat to
rising.
us in
Lagos.
In Lagos.
Yes.
So whether you stay the highest place in Lagos could still be submerged.
Oh, yeah.
God forbid.
Oh, yeah.
So let's just continue to pray. Our governor is concerned and is asking everybody to be very, 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 very careful and cautious these times, particularly in terms of dumping refuse in the canals and all that. Well, good morning. My name is Banji Busari. Jumoke and I, we have a separate, different focus this week, and on this episode.
Yeah.
So the rain and all is just an aside.
Yes, today on the program we're talking about the border closure. We're looking at the implications. We're looking at possible solutions. We're looking at how government decision will probably ameliorate people's suffering, because prices are on the high side, things are increasing, and life is just challenging, So that's our focus on the program today. We title it Border Closure Update. And
well, the truth of the matter is that our borders have been closed for an upward of about
almost 2 months.
2 months now. And there have been reactions. Reactions have actually trailed both from within and outside. But the one from outside seems to be even much more intense than the one inside. Of course, Nigerians are familiar with imported rice, and some of us have started missing it. But government is saying there's a better option. That is, the local rice is even more nutritious and it's even cheaper. So why don't we go for it? But then the issue of border, the porous nature of our border is also another factor that led government to actually take that decision. But our neighbors seems to be very, very uncomfortable. Talk of the Republic of Benin, talk of Ghana, talk of Niger, and there has been so much pressures on our government to open the borders. The recent one is what Jumoke is trying to say, that a retaliatory action seems to be on the way. That's following the continued closure of our border. So that's going to be our focus today on the program.
All right, and joining us to discuss this issue this morning, we have Otunba Dele Ajayi-Smith. He's a member of the LCCI and is also the president of African Citizens Development Foundation. Thanks for joining us again, sir.
Thank you very much, Jumoke.
He's a development economist, if I'm right. Development economist.
Yeah.
All right, so that makes him an apt person to discuss this issue with us this morning. Thanks for joining us.
It's our pleasure, sir.
Thanks so much.
When I was actually invited, I said, I hope we're going to bother you again this morning. He said, no, Banji is no bother, that he's always very much passionate when it comes to issues like that.
Economy,
it's about us, about our economy, it's about our people.
Yeah.
So, sir, let's look at it. For upward of 2 months now, our borders have actually been closed by the federal government based on very many reasons of fathers. The border, the porous nature of our border, the need to actually ward off the insurgents, security issues and the economic issues, that our borders have become a kind of floodgate for those who are importing so many contrabands, illegal goods into our country. And the local manufacturers are also complaining. LCCI is saying these goods are a threat to locally manufactured goods. So many reasons offered by the government. Do you share those views, sir?
Yes, I agree, absolutely. In August, there was partial closure of the border. And I think government took strategic look at the situation. And they knew that nothing positive is going to happen until early this month. The government now order total closure. Where you have said it all. There is issue of security. There is issue of economy. And when you look at all this thing, it's overdue. It ought to have happened many, many years back. But because we don't have the leader who can bail the cat, it is issue of political will to be able to do something right. The issue of border, the porousness of our border, I have been so much bothered about it, right from my childhood age. It doesn't just happen this time. When you travel to Seme, when you travel to Idiroko, and I'm sure it's worse in some other part of the country, you know, in the north, where you have boundary with, border with Niger and the rest of it. It is the same. It is dubious, illegal activities. But at the moment, we are talking of so many other issues. The security aspect. The Boko Haram have field day to move in and move out. That alone demanded for this type of action. Now, for a very long time, not during this regime, about almost 8 years ago, if not more, that government has banned about 44 items. Now we're talking of 43 items. Maybe one was removed. The reality is that there was no political will to do something serious. Because when you say somebody is bringing in toothpick and so many other products that are affecting our economy, then it's a very serious issue. During the regime of President Jonathan, there were so much noises. Don't do this, get this done. But it's okay. People will not come through the sea. They will not come by here with their goods. They go through the land borders. And everything you don't want to see here, I mean, through those places, find their ways into Nigeria. And so, in a way, when you look at it critically, you will discover that we're just giving jobs to foreign economy. We're not gaining anything. When you buy rice from these other countries, you, apart from the fact that you are buying something that is not realistically good for our health, and of course every government should be concerned about the health of its people. In a case where rice, imported rice, made from plastic and some terrible items are brought into the country. Well, they don't come through the sea, they don't come through the airports, but they come through the porous borders. And of course, they flooded this place. People are making billions.
All right, sir, could we put into consideration the ECOWAS rule of free movement of persons and goods? You know, because talking about this border closure, does it negate the African Continental Free Trade Agreement?
Well,
because now it's total closure.
Yeah.
It was partial closure, now it's total closure.
That's
Is
right.
it not indicting the country?
No, it can. It can, because the first interest is not the is not the African generally. It's not the law you have signed. You remember that last year it became an implication for Mr. President to sign this continental African continental free trade. He set up advisory council to advise him, and he refused to sign while other African presidents had signed their part. So it took him time, because you see, at the end of the day, he is responsible to whatever happens to Nigeria. Look, we have seen examples. If you go back to the history of China, there was a time, I didn't get the fact right, somebody told me it was 25 years that their border was closed. This was based on their culture, considering the number of religious people that were trying to penetrate their country, merchants, and so many other things. This was in the 15th century. The the border was closed for a very, very long time in order to recover their situation. So when you are interested, the first interest should be your country. It's not the continent. You understand? And India didn't close its border. I didn't see any record of where they, but I have visited India, where they would say, even if it is just one kind of material that we are all going to be wearing, that is what we will be here. They refuse people bringing in anything into their country. But look at the country. Look, China today, it's battling with, I mean, it's about almost the first economy in the world. Of course, we know they are second. But America is not sleeping because of this situation. India is doing a lot. They still have poor people around. But I can assure you that they have gone extremely good, very far in the economic pursuit. But here, we've been talking about this issue. Now, today we will sit down and say, Nigerian, we have over 30 million unemployed youths and adults and what have you. But we don't consider that many of these things will bring into the country. One individual will make billions and offering no job to, how many jobs will they offer to Nigerians? But at the end of the day, the rice they brought from that country or the other one is giving employment to thousands of people in those countries. Toothpick, sorry. And so many irrelevant products are coming into this country. Somebody is doing it. Somebody is benefiting from it. And so if we don't display that political will to stop it, it will remain with us. And then when we see the effects of the ripples of what we fail to do, it will continue to affect us. You are here every day. You will talk about lack of employment in our society and many other problems. Many of these things will stop.
I like us to look at these issues from two angles. How receptive, how are Nigerians actually adapting? Many, in fact, the greatest critics to this policy are Nigerians themselves. Yeah. Many Nigerians believe, no, this man has just decided to punish us. Stop it. I mean, the only food available to the poor is the one that is preventing from coming. Do we have the food sufficiency, particularly rice, that actually make us sufficient to shun? We have it?
We don't need to have sufficient for taking appropriate action. It will lead us to it. The opportunities are on ground. Central Bank is offering different financial assistance to the farmers. Go there and key into it.
Is it the same farmers that we hear that are afraid to go to the farmlands?
That are
afraid to go to the farmlands.
Why are they afraid?
Because of farmer-herder clashes.
No, that's past tense. How much of that are you hearing now? Look, these are political gimmicks. It's a political gimmick. Don't let people begin to scare you. People are making waves. Even in those difficult societies, like in the north, Benue and so on and so on, people are doing their farming. They're getting money. They are growing. So it's not, I mean, we will definitely, citizens will make, citizens will definitely make noise over every policy. That is normal. Good or bad. We all have different views.
Okay, the other leg to it is the fact, looking at our neighbors, many of whom, I mean, their economies depend maybe on Nigeria.
On Nigeria.
So what the African Union is supposed to be an association of brothers keepers. I mean, now many of them have approached our president to actually soften his policy on the border closure.
Yes.
Even till now, our government has not hearkened to them. Now, rewind back to 2015, when the government's administration, I mean, the last administration, president, he actually depended depended on the cooperation of our neighbors.
Yes.
When we were at the peak of the insurgency.
Yes.
We approached all these, the presidents around us. So this is more or less their own time to say, okay, reciprocate our good gesture by support. Do you think we can afford to shun them?
Government has not said, don't bring your goods to Nigeria. Get that clearer. What we are saying is, temporarily, whether that temporary will last for 1 year, or it's going to last for 2 years or 3 years, depending. Because there are conditions where government is putting in place. If your country wants, if you want our border to open to you, this thing affects both of us. There are a lot of Nigerians, thousands of Nigerians trading across this borderline. It takes a lot of things out of this place. And other people also come. They are all affected. What the government is saying, okay, because we have been having serious problem over this issue, take your goods through the other border point. Take it through sea, take it through by here.
Irrespective of the cost.
Whatever the issue is that if you listen to the Controller General of
Customs,
immediately, it's telling you that they are making a lot of
huge income
through only the port and the airports. Where Nigeria make losses, it's basically from the border point. A lot of it affects us. Most of it will continue to affect us. Look at many custom officials make billions, private money into their pockets. It's affecting them. And so many other people were also affected. What we are saying is that there is no way, because we have to face reality if we want this country to be good.
Yes.
There is issue of security. The Boko Haram and all insurgencies and so on, they bring their products. I passed that place regularly some years back.
Okay, sir. At this point, I think we'll go for a short break. And the package, recently, one of our neighbors that's talking about Ghana, to be specific, actually reacted to this continued border closure. And actually, the association is not the government now.
It's an association.
It's an association actually came, and a kind of retaliatory measure is being proposed that all Nigerian goods must be stopped from entering Ghana, and that Nigerian products must be banned and not patronized.
I read about it.
So let's see that package now. When we return, we probably you comment on
okay,
the package.
All right.
So we'll go for a short break where we see the package.
Ghana Traders Union calls for boycott of Nigerian products. As Nigeria's non-border closure bites West African countries, the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, has called for a total boycott of all Nigerian products imported by Ghana. The move, the Traders Union believes, will force the Nigerian government to open up its land borders for foreign goods. Nigeria partially shut its borders since August, according to GhanaWay.com. Greater Accra Regional Secretary of GUTA, David Kwando Amotang, and Adams FM's Money Show, Duaso Insem, Friday said the Nigerian government has not been fair to foreign traders. In return, he expects the Ghana government to prevent Nigerian traders from bringing goods into Ghana, but that plea has fallen on deaf ears. Either somebody's bread has been buttered or we are cowards. Government is not being fair to us, he fumed. Mr. Amoteng cited how Dangote cement had taken over the market while local ones from Gasem are suffering. Let's boycott Nigeria products as payback to their government's action. How can we be slaves in our own country, he said. Mr. Amoteng argued that the issue, if not checked, could hamper the continental free trade area. Ghana's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration has appealed to Ghanaian traders to remain calm as it works with the Nigerian authorities to ease its ban on the exportation of non-traditional products. So guys, that is what is obtainable now. We don't know the law of the ECOWAS, whether everybody is free to move. There should be free movement of people and of goods and services. But what Nigeria government is doing now they say they know what they are doing, but Nigeria at home are not really happy with the whole thing. It's not even the Ghanaians that are not happy. It is even Nigerians that are not even happy because it is affecting them, and the government does not even bother. Because if you look at everything at larger scale, it's not even doing Nigerians any good. There are many ways to do or to go about all of these things. The same way they were talking about Ruga of 18. Oh, Ruga will be able to curb a lot of insecurity that's have been going on in the country. But people have been saying no. If people are into fraud, if people are into crime, let them be dealt with accordingly by the law. You don't say because of that you just want to create a lot of things around people when people don't really know what you are talking about, and when people know that it's going to be detrimental to them. And at the end of the day, the Nigerian people refused and rejected that Ruga. They came off with livestock, and they said they don't still want it, that these people should go about their business. So when you are saying you are closing border, no proper plan on ground to be able to cushion the effect.
Oh, yes, you're welcome back, Jumoke. That was the clip.
Yeah.
I mean, our neighbor, one of our neighbors is actually reacting to this. So, sir, you've seen this. What's your reaction? Do you think this retaliatory would actually help us?
It won't come up. It's just an association. It's an association, as if you are talking of association of market women or other association in Nigeria reacting to an issue. The government don't look at it. The government of Ghana will not react that way. Now, the president of Ghana, the president of Benin Republic, and others had come around and said, okay, this is the situation, and the federal government has given them condition. Look, this issue is affecting our economy. It's affecting our security. We have to find solutions, and the matter has been placed on the table for them. If you can go back to your country and let it be this way, don't allow. Look, the issue we are talking about, we said security. Even do you know that most of the drug goes through those land borders, more than they go through the airport, because there is no sophisticated equipment in those land borders. Now, what the government is saying is that we're going to provide scanning system, comprehensive, where we may say it's too late, that government should have done this for a very long time. But it is the government that determined to do it, that we do it. Let me tell you, one honest truth is this. Many of the laws of the past, in the past, could not be enforced. Because if you, Jumoke, comes to me, and I'm a minister, and you say, of course, there is a law that says, don't bring this thing in. And you say, Otunba, would you help me? I am bringing so much, and the best way to bring it is land border. I will tell you, Jumoke, you are my girlfriend, go and do it, bring it. And I will relax all the laws. Things must change. If this country must go better.
All right,
If this country must go better, let's actually involve our viewers. The number to actually send your messages to, you know our rule. Our rule is that you don't call. Don't call onto that line. Just send your text message to 070-5221-2592. Make your contributions via messages. See, people have started calling. Don't call. Send messages.
All right, please, sir, could you, before we end the program, could you enumerate some of the effects of this border closure on the people? Because at the end of the day, they are the ones who are feeling it.
Yes, somehow there are positive development at the moment. Take, for instance, in the past, the calculation is that we are using about Nigerian demands about 250,000 barrels of oil every day. Now, the record now shows that we don't even need 200,000 barrels because majority of this oil have been smuggled. And a lot of crisis, a lot of crime happens, both on the way and in the border. on the water. You understand me? And look, life are lost regularly. I don't want to say every day. It's not going to be exaggeration to say every day we lose we lost the life of our citizens because they will battle with the security agents and so on and so on and get it done. It is really a war battle. So if all this thing continues, and now we are saving more than 50,000 barrels of oil per day, that is one. Then some aspect of agricultural products and so on, the record shows that some markets are even selling below. You understand me? Some items are, because they are not in existence or they are not enough in the market, the price is rocketed, but it's not going to be for too long.
So are we saying that things will be a bit difficult for Nigerians?
It must be at the initial stage.
We should just endure.
Of course. Because if you are bringing in fake rice, of course, I have mentioned it, consider the health aspect.
And you know the disparity between what we produce and what Nigerians actually need, when you talk about the local rice, is still far apart.
You mean
in terms of quantity?
In terms of quantity, yes. We will get there. Why? Are Nigerians going to die because there is no rice?
So okay, should we begin to look at substitutes now? Like, should we begin to eat more corn?
Now?
It's coming. People are producing. In fact, what I know somebody who has a mill, or father rice mill. Do you understand? And is now trying to get. If you can imagine the way people are rushing him, the one single problem he has is that he has to destone the product, and so he's getting a loan at the moment to do it. This thing will bring economic stability over time.
Bringing economic stability, we have somebody who has reacted from Ibadan, Yinka, saying that he doesn't support it. For me, I don't support it because it will only affect common man. Thanks. We have been told, I mean, in the paper, in the reports in the papers, that the rich men, when you visit them, they eat this foreign rice that you have condemned publicly, that you have advised Nigerians against. That's what you find in the homes of rich, the elite.
Yes, but it will change over time. Banji, it's going to change. The big men, some of them had already stocked what they would eat for 1 year, for 2 years. Look, I know of this. I used to have my stock for a whole year because I'm rich. You understand? But it's not going to be forever. We have to change to what we can produce locally. Look, 1986, 1986, I was in India. Look, I see myself like a millionaire. I wasn't a thousandaire. But the level at which the Indian people I went to visit in 1986, they had factories, but none of them could ride a car. None of them.
None of them.
Do you understand? So today they are more comfortable. Their economy is stable. You won't count 5 successful countries without mentioning India. In spite of their population. We have to be patient. We cannot just have everything smooth. When have we got it right?
All right, thank you, sir. That's all we can take on this discussion. But before the program, you can still keep sending in your messages. Before the program ends, we'll still take time to... I don't know, people continue to call instead of sending SMS. All right, thank you, Otunba Dele Ajayi-Smith, for being a part of the program.
Most welcome.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so we are going to another segment of the program that encourages a local manufacturer. So it's just so apt this morning, what we're talking about. So I want you to sit back and we'll bring this young man who is into production and empowerment skills for young Nigerians. So stay with us, we'll be right back.
I just want the papers, please.
Sir.
enter. Yes, so. And Monday never even reach chef. Na salary plenty, oh. No wonder I no gree collect roja from my hand. Shut up, yeah.
I'm here to bail my younger brother.
If it happen. With good laws,
Proper funding, training,
and cooperation.
if it happen.
All right, thanks for still being there. The program is still Summit. And joining us now for this segment, we have Mr. Olalekan Salaudeen of Fuseline Technical Training Academy. He's the lead in that organization. You're welcome.
I'd rather call him an engineer.
Engineer Olalekan Salaudeen. You're welcome.
It's our pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Mr. Bain.
Yeah, in her intro, she actually spoke about empowering Nigerians, so I mean, through engineering skills.
Sure.
But first and foremost, Nigerians would actually love to meet you, know you. What's your, when talking about engineering, what's your pedigree? How far have you gone in this area?
Well, I've been in industry in the last 25 years, and I've made my landmark. My works are all over. When GSM was coming on board, I don't know how many years ago now, but in partnership with John Holt, we both put together a structure to repair and put NITEL in the proper shape for them to be able to compete with the foreign GSM company that is coming in. John Holt is to supply generator, and my own company, Fuseline Nigeria Limited, is to bring in power equipment to synchronize their generator. In each site, we put up 2 generators, and nobody's going to be there, and they're going to be operating on their own. And that was what we did throughout the whole nation. Sakatunumbu, the headquarters in Lagos, and Kujama in Kaduna was spearheaded by me, and they went around this country, and a perfect job was done. But what happened thereafter is just a systemic problem.
All right.
And we couldn't find NITEL today.
So you mentioned Fuseline. What's Fuseline?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to
Fuseline,
ask. What do they do?
Yeah, what do they do?
Fuseline is into power and control. When you're talking of industrial panel, this place that is being operated now, if you don't have power equipment, you cannot operate the whole of this MITV. You need a power equipment to operate the generator, the NEPA supply, to distribute the outputs, and put different things in place to make sure that you have a balanced power here as power management is concerned. So that's what we are into. And it's a very important area in terms of energy in this country.
Is it wholly Nigerian, or you are in partnership with foreigners to?
Yes, because of this training that we are coming up with, we have partnership in abroad, and we have partners in Nigeria as well too, so that all these young engineers who are graduating from school will be able to not just come out and be roaming around the street, but to go out there and be on their own and employ others. We've been doing industrial attachments, and that's not enough for us. So we believe in the government of this country. We are proudly Nigeria, and there's no country like ours. And we believe from the initiative of Mr. President that he wants to empower local content and Nigerians, as much as 40 million Nigerians between now and the next 2023. So we are committed to that and want to give at least 1 million Nigerians who are graduates these benefits.
All right, so this training we are talking about, is it about repairs or assembling of these engineering machines.
Okay, in addition to that, I want you to, while answering that, take that alongside Fuseline Technical Training Academy.
Yeah.
What is it all about?
This academy is put together. We conceived this idea 12 years ago. And we've been working around the clock with my team to make sure that we get to this level. We have over 50 partners who we are working together to make sure that this is being done. So by the time these students finish their training in school, it's all theory. And if they don't complement it with this practical, they can't do anything in the industry. So once they come out now and they enroll into this academy, go on our website, www.engineeringyou.com. You go there, you register your name, and you just pay a token of 2,500 naira. We are good to go.
Is that for registration or for the training?
No, just for the registration.
Okay.
So there is a fee for the training. The training has 3 categories. We have the gold training, we have the silver training, and we have the bronze training.
Sorry, before you go deeply into the payment plan, you've not answered the fact that the training, is it going to be repairs, assembling, or constructions? What's the scope of this training?
The training scope is very wide, and I don't think time can permit us. Let's take, for instance, a generator, for example. You have servicing of the generator. You have overhauling of the generator, where you remove everything and put it back. They don't know all this. They are going to be taught, learn how to do this thing with spanners, the tools, losing it in their present and putting it back, for them to be able to go outside there and do it themselves.
For them to be able to go outside there and do it themselves, I know there are so many engineering universities. We have technical colleges.
Yes.
Are you in partnership with any of them so that their students, you can match the academics with the industry while they are learning the theory there, that you complement with the practical session? Are you in partnership with anyone?
Yes.
Are you collaborating?
Presently now we are working with Unilag, and we are expecting all their IT students for their 400 levels to come in. And those who are finishing their final year now, too, we are expecting them to come in. So it's now left to you to say you want to do 3 months training, 6 months, 1 year, or the 2-year training. And we are in touch with Kwasu, Unilorin, and Kwara Poly too.
Okay, you are in touch. I mean, is this the first of its kind, or you want to probably talk about the previous achievements, those who have passed through the system?
Well, we have students from the first experiment that was put together in this training was from Kwara Poly. And we were giving just 10 students to go and train. And these 10 students, we train them and return them back to the school. And they're all outside there doing very well.
Outside where?
In the outside world.
In the labor market?
Yes.
Okay, so you have feedback. Do you have feedback from this same labor market, from the companies, industries?
Any of our students that go through this training, is either they're in Glow, MTN, they're in top shape.
You are the one that facilitates the job for them, or through their skills and their knowledge, or how?
Once they finish the training, we have written proposals to different engineering companies. They are ready, they are waiting for them. If you want to be employed,
they are waiting for graduates of Fuseline.
Yes, training academy to be employed. And if you can go on your own to start employing people, entrepreneurship, you are good to go. The training will expose you, and all the trainers, no one of us has less than 30, 25, 40 years of doing the same thing.
In engineering?
In engineering.
Okay. I was going to ask, the one, where are you located? Nigerians would like to know. And then the graduates of do they come out with certificate or diploma? What manner of What certificate? What certification do you offer?
We just certify them with our own letter, assuring the people they are going to work with that these people have gone through this training and they are fit to get the job done. That's what we are doing for now.
All right, what about, I know you have already stressed that you want young graduates, but what about those who did not actually attend a higher institution of learning, like maybe parents who think that
they don't have
this
the
child
fund.
go and learn handwork, you know? Are they eligible to attend?
Yes, the academy have facilities for them, but those ones are going to spend 5 years in the academy. 5 good years of non-stop. 5 good years of non-stop. Then they will come in. So, but it's after 5 years before they become a professional on their own.
Okay, those who are coming from Unilab, for instance, how long is there? What's the shortest?
The shortest period is 3 months.
3 months.
3 months.
And that will equip them well enough to be able to stand the rigors of the industry.
The maximum is 2 years. You know, all these people, they will come in now and the little you give them,
they think they've known it all.
They think they've known it all. And that little, by the time they get outside there, it's going to be very much
But it's your name, your company. You're giving them letters. If they don't know enough, and they're going to work with Glo, MTN, and all these telecoms, do you not think your name would...
We are going to be appraising them. We are not going to release them.
Okay.
If you come in and spend 3 months and we are not satisfied with your training, we are not going to release you, and we are not going to give you a letter to go with. So there's all those plans there. We are not going to release you. In 3 months, we evaluate you. If what you have is not enough, we will not release you. Then you still have to stay back in the academy. But the problem with Nigeria is that, you know, all these children, the moment they know 1 or 2 things, even the lecturers in school, our initial program is to say 100 level, 200 level, they go for their semester break, they start coming in for this training. So by the time they finish their 5 years program, they're already done. But the lecturers are saying, if you put this student through this program this way, they will not come for lectures again.
Okay, so the next 1 or 2, I just want you to spend 60 seconds advert. Talk to parents, talk to prospective students, talk to stakeholders about your project, where you are based, how you can be reached, your website, your telephone lines, and then office address, and then in a reassuring manner why they must be part of this project.
This project is a special program that is the only one that is available as far as this country is concerned in engineering now. I can be reached on 081 0844 2001. And you can reach me on my other number 090 1555 1949. My email address Salaudeen 2009@gmail.com.
Repeat that, please.
Phone number.
Your email address.
My email address Salaudeen 2009@gmail.com.
All right, what about the payment plan? The different categories for...
Yes, the payment plan for 2 years, you are going to pay 500.
500 naira.
500,000. For the, what do you call it? For the 1 year, you are going to pay 300,000. And those who are going to be spending 3 months are going to pay 150.
Do they have to pay at once, or how was the...
Well, the management is going to be giving consideration for how flexible payments for them to go with. But there must be an undertaking. And all their parents must be involved. No student of this academy will be allowed into the academy without their parents' contact and their parents' email, so as to get back to their parents on their feedback.
That's key. The parents must be involved in the process.
They must be involved in the process. Feedback weekly, monthly, till the final end of the training. We are going to be giving feedback to their parents.
What's the capacity? Do you have the capacity to take? What's the size of the project? Can you take, for instance, like 500 students?
This particular section we are in now, we are waiting for 1,000 students.
1,000?
Yes. That's
So
our
what are the
capacity.
facilities? What's the location of those facilities?
These facilities, I told you that we have over 50 partners on ground with different specialties in engineering. So, and we are going to be pushing them to each of all these places. So you are here spending 2 weeks or a month, you are moving there to another place. By the time you go around all the whole route, you will now come up and say, I want to be a specialist in this.
Okay.
Then we'll now complete your training in that specialty area.
Okay.
Jumoke, you remember to tell our viewers that this is just run in series.
Sense. Yeah.
This is just the first in the series.
Yeah, yeah. We'll be having him on the program from time to time, weekly, I guess, you know, to further tell you about what this engineering opportunity has for your child or as a young graduate. But young graduates that are not under their parents, how do you manage them?
Well, there must be a guardian.
There must be a guardian. Jumoke,
Right.
please permit me to take one or two messages to our earlier segment. This one is from, okay, he didn't state his name. This is the only major progress I see from this government. Border closure, sure, must be encouraged to allow Nigerians to be innovative. Let me take this one too. Nigeria need a good and fresh cleanup from the top and to all executive. This one is from Ajayi-Smith, Abeokuta. Close the borders, close to insurgency, terrorism, and not rice border. But I don't know. This one is from so many. Let me just take us. Let that border be closed forever. Let everybody eat his mother's food. But message is not enough. Allow cause, please. So that's to you. That message is not enough. From Baba Khadija, that message is not enough. This one, the highest problem of Nigeria economy is the huge amount earned by our top officers. If these people can sacrifice for Nigeria, poverty will be eradicated. That's from Songwater.
I think that's enough. We need to
Let
go
me
now.
take this last one. Government should not only close the border, but throw the key away. If you can't afford the rice, better alternative is spaghetti. Better days are here. Niyi Korodu.
All right, that's our program today. We want to thank you all for staying with us. We need to go now. And thank you, Mr. Olalekan Salaudeen. He will be joining us again frequently on the program to talk about his project. I am Jumoke Michaels.